Hello, hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to my garden. So, I'm taking you on a walk around on how we survive a North Dakota thaw. This year we were put on a state of emergency for all of the snow that we got at the end of this winter and the big fast. It's melting quickly. So I'm going to show you how we survive and how we do small things to help us get through. One thing we do, if you have any kind of cement or tar that you can park on or is on your property and is at a midpoint on your property, it will start to heat up in the sun, and then you take advantage of it and you pull snow and chip ice from the edges, clearing it up more and more, and then putting snow in the middle, and then it melts. And then, as you can see here, I've got a river system going all the way through the driveway up to the front. Car goes all the way through the driveway up to the front and flows out into the street, down and over into the middle of the street. And our entire city has a floodwater overflow system to help prevent flooding, and it goes all the way down the streets. So all the way down, everybody's coming in. Alright, let's show you other things we do to prevent flooding. One of them is an example right here at my front step. One thing you do is we had a big thick puddle here, as you can see, the big puddle from all the melt from the two sides and from on top of the roof. So what I did was I chipped to where the two spots were the deepest from the dripping of the roof, and chipped a river system and then a river system down and out. And it has this whole, I started to chip it and got the river going, and this whole pad here flooded for about 2 hours, and now it's mostly drained away, and I'm gonna have to come out here and push. Now I'll show you one of the other things we do. One of the other things we do is we help the water by grabbing a shovel. See the driveway? See the bubble there? We just push the water. Car. Now I learned all of these tricks. What you want to do is you want to create river systems from the high points to the low points. And then if you get to a lower point that has a small bump in it, like down there, you help it along so it can keep going to the low points. See all that water I pushed in? See how it's creating a river? All the way down to the middle low point. That's why we build our roads at V angles to help river and flooding prevention. Now, all these tricks I learned from watching locals, because I just moved here for the first time 12 years ago. I grew up in the north woods of Minnesota. I married my husband. I had our eldest child, and we moved here. The first couple years we were here, before my son was born, we lived in apartments. And then, when we had both of our children and moved into our first house, I started watching the locals, and that was the 2009 flood. No, 2008 flood. Maybe 2009. My husband will put it on the screen. Watching the locals and then asking them questions, the local homeowners on either side of me, and then asking them questions on why they did certain things, taught me a bunch of these little tricks. So, there's one of the river systems. Now I'm going to take you over. I've got a lot of this melted and drained and away from the house here. So it's not nearly as bad as it was, and it's quite cleared up. But I'm going to take you over to the other side of the house. I need to turn you off because I don't want to stumble and break the camera as I'm balancing my way through all that snow. I'm going to show you what we have is a big river system over there because of the big giant pile of snow. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to take you over. Okay, here we go. At one point, this was all water, but now you're starting to be able to see reefs because I created a river drain system. My husband came out here a few days ago and shoveled a wide path down to where it had been hard packed. And then I came in and chipped away after a couple of days of melt a big river system from at the back because that's a higher point in the properties between the two properties here, and it floods. So to prevent that, we chip away down to the grass all the way down, and I'll show you. This was at one point quite deep. You can see where it was deep down here and where it's drained. Okay, this was all, you can see where the water was up to about here. This was all one big water puddle. So I came in and I started here. See if I can get you a... Started here and chipped away down to the ice all the way through the high ground. This was a big giant puddle and all the way under one big puddle. Chipped away. Now we'll be able to get you a really good look of the flowing. We make rivers from the high deep points, from puddle point to bring the river and the water to the low points so that it can be taken away and not flood us. Then it just all comes, creates rivers, puddles, flows all the way down. Now I want to show you a couple of really cool things here. You can see where I've created rivers because I've got washed away water spots. If you see here, a river, I chipped away a river because there was a big puddle. And as you can see, the flow of the water of where the water is flowing, a big river system. Now there's not much here left anymore, and this is a big part of the reason I will, actually this isn't my property here. This is actually also concrete. Now over here, this other one I'm going to show you has got a lot more flow going to it. This is all the water that came from the side of the house that was that big giant puddle here and under the bush, and the big giant puddle all the way back to the river. That one you can see, and you can see the river system. And this is how we survive and prevent flooding here in the Red River Valley. Now I think this is a great video for people to see who are new to the Red River Valley and don't know how to do some of this stuff. I learned from watching locals. I wish I had been able to, there was not this kind of stuff on YouTube back when I first moved here and was learning how to do this. So I want to be able to show people what they can do to survive floods and melt here in the Red River Valley. So share this video, pass it along, share it on all your social media so we can help new people who move to the area learn how to get proper flood flow going so you have less damage to your properties. Alright guys, thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below if this helped you learn anything. And we'll see you all in the next one. And remember everyone, stay positive. Bye! Alright guys, I purposely waited a week to film the end of this video because I wanted you to see what a difference the river systems make. There's so much of it gone here, all over the property and all over my yard, just from the little rivers. Including, if we go over here, I have been purposely going out of my way to take care of this over here also. These are the big piles that were next to my house. I purposely had river systems going, and I've been pushing water out. As you can see, all that water, I just got done pushing a bunch of water out. I do this on purpose to help bust down these piles here, because otherwise I will get flooding in my own property. Now over there, way over there, let's see if I can zoom you in. See how much that hill has gone down, yet nobody goes over there and does a river system over there, so that will take a lot longer to melt. Whereas this, two mountains, I'm going to zoom out, have massively disappeared because of all the river systems and all the water flowing I do, because I can't afford to have flooding in my yard. So that is how we survive floods in the Red River Valley. River systems, chipping at ice, and pushing water into the drains so that we don't worry about your land getting over wet and flooding happening. So this year we were lucky. It worked out great. Alright guys, thanks for coming along and learning how we survive floods in the Red River Valley, and how I want newcomers to the Red River Valley to learn the tips and tricks that I had to learn myself by asking questions from neighbors. For me, now you can just go out, watch my video, and do it yourself and not worry about it. Alright guys, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you in the next one. And remember everyone, stay positive.